Hey guys, and welcome back to another brand new Attack on Titan video. And yes, it has been a while. My voice is finally back. For the past few days, my voice has been the definition of a dying dog voice. I've been talking to my friends with such a voice, and yeah, that's the reason why I didn't actually have the ability to record any video for the past few days. And it has been almost a week since my last video, right? So yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that my voice is finally returning. Obviously it's not fully returned yet. There's going to be like few voice crack here and there, but please don't really mind it. But yeah, there's a lot of things that has happened for the past few days, which is Hajime Isayama in Paris. There's like a lot of interview here and there, and well, there's literally a lot of very important stuff that has been discussed by them, and one of it are how the ending of Attack on Titan, the final season part 3 is going to be. Not really how the ending is going to be, it's the fact, it's basically the interviewer asking either the final season part 3, the anime version, is the final and definitive version of the story. Basically they are asking either there's going to be anime original ending or not. Or I'm pretty sure all of those AOE hope chats out there are watching this video due to the fact that this thumbnail and the video literally says AOE debunk whatsoever. Please be noted that I have nothing against the concept of anime original ending. I think it's a pretty cool concept to play with, and it definitely will work in Attack on Titan. But if it doesn't work, honestly, we can't really blame Hajime Isayama for not having anime original ending in his own anime himself. Like, this is his own story. If he wants it to be the same as what it is, then it's his choice to do so, right? It's not our choice to change his ending because that's his story. It's not the fact that you are more knowledgeable in terms of how it is and you just like want to change his story because you are not satisfied. So yeah, again, I don't have anything against anime original ending. I do think it's quite a fun concept to play with, but yeah, let's just see. But yeah, in this one particular interview though, Hajime Isayama's new interview at Broad News Media, we have interviewer. Are there differences between the way Japanese and Western fans, mainly French, perceive Attack on Titan? Isayama replied, in Japan, public judges a work as a commercial product, while abroad, especially in France, is judged completely differently. In fact, when we come to France, for example, we are considered as artists, and since I'm not aware of being an artist, I say to myself, oh, I'm an artist? Because I have the impression that I'm making a product. In any case, this is how the profession is considered. And perhaps it's only because I myself don't have a deep understanding of art and didn't study it. In any case, the treatment of the profession is very different between two countries. Next up, we have Hajime Isayama. You are the star guest of this year Angoulême International Comic Festival. My bad if I actually pronounced that wrongly. Many fans came to meet you. What is your relationship with them? Do you listen and integrate their points of view, or do you consider that it's up to you and you alone to decide how your work will develop? And Isayama says, I do research to find out what people say about me, and I listen to my readers and followers. Sometimes it's true, there are very harsh criticisms, but even the ones I read, I accept them. There are things that influence me and the others that don't. I choose. Perhaps the reader criticism that stuck with me the most was at the beginning. Someone wrote on my blog sometimes like, if the author changes the story because of the reader criticism, I'll stop reading his work. It was almost because of that I understood to position myself. Well, next up we have this very important question. The most important out of all. It's just, There were changes between the manga and the anime of Attack on Titan, changes that you supervise yourself. Does that mean the anime is the final and definitive version of your story? And Isayama replied with, there are things I'm not entirely happy with in the manga. So I talk about it with the animation team, and that's where the differences between manga and anime come from. But that doesn't mean I think anime and the final form are just different. For me, manga is a bit like experiencing a live concert, and anime is more like a well-recorded concert with editing and therefore a kind of album with arrangements. Again, this is basically Isayama saying, well, there's not going to be major differences between the anime and the manga. Something that is much more organized in such way because it is not something raw like the manga. So this is quite interesting. Well, and it's pretty much saying that there won't be huge differences between the anime version and the manga version of the ending. So yeah, does this basically mean there won't be anime original ending? Well, it's pretty much obvious from this one particular statement from Isayama, but if you guys still want to believe in it, then you do you, I guess. Next up we have, you love Game of Thrones. How did this series influence your writing, especially when you got to the end of Attack on Titan? What lessons have you learned? Isayama says, in fact, what impressed me most about Game of Thrones was the dialogue. It's dialogue that I don't find in Japanese work. It comes from Western culture and especially from England because there's a lot of irony. When you study the dialogues, it's really very well written. It's really to learn this that I look at the dialogues carefully. Next up we have, Attack on Titan is not very optimistic work about humanity. What are you afraid of today? And Isayama replied with, I always have the feeling that everything is very ephemeral, that nothing lasts forever. For example, I was able to make a lot of money, it's true, thanks to the success of Attack on Titan, but at some point that money can suddenly become just a worthless piece of paper, especially given the current context around the world. So yes, I'm still a little afraid. Damn. And they asked, and what are you amazed about today? Isayama replied with, when despite cultural and historical differences, the same works can be enjoyed all over the world. The fact that these works brings us together is something that pleases me greatly. I like watching videos on YouTube that shows the reaction of the foreigners to Japanese anime, for example. I like it because I feel it connects me with the audience. And the last question is basically, is there anything you've never said about Attack on Titan? A secret or an anecdote? Something you could tell us today? Isayama replied with, I don't know if it's an interesting anecdote, and I don't know if you know the mangas of Blue Lock and Spy Family. In fact, their authors are former assistants of mine who worked on Attack on Titan. Tatsuya Endo, the author of Spy Family, is my great rival in ping pong. And the interviewer asks, and who wins? And Isayama says, normally Tatsuya Endo is stronger than me, but the last time he didn't manage to win, I beat him. Incredible, man. Alright, so those are basically it for Hajime Isayama's new interview at Brut, which is at News Media. There's actually two more, France Inter and also the Hajime Isayama's masterclass, but I'll be talking about that in my other video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!